Welcome to Up to the Minute. Hey, it is a Friday, finally Friday. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we're live from the HCCTV studios this morning. Good to have you with us on Up to the Minute. We've got a great show lined up. We're going to talk about lemurs later in the show. We've also got our friends from Backstage OL are going to update us on the movie making business. But first, my co-host this morning, Alberta, joining me from her home studio. Good morning, Alberta. It's finally Friday.
Good morning. I know, it's exciting. Finally, the weekend is here.
Well, wow, your microphone's working now all of a sudden. Wow. It sounds like Wizard of Oz all of a sudden. I think you got both microphones on right now.
Oh.
Yeah, both of them. Sounds like you're a little double effect, though, kind of like a Wizard of Oz. But we'll work on that during the break. So go ahead and see what that's all about. I'll let everybody know that you can watch us anytime. Thanks for being here on Facebook Live and YouTube, by the way. We're always available on social media as Houston Community College District. And you can also watch the rebroadcast of all of our shows on HCCTV. We're on at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. for your viewing pleasure. Alberta, let's check your mic now. See where you are.
Mic check?
I don't know. It's still getting a little echo there. I don't know. See if you got two mics on. I think you might have double mics going, but either way, it has got that great Wizard of Oz effect. So that'll work for now, but see if we can work on that all right, we'll work on getting your guest ready and you can get your mic ready, but you're going to be interviewing this next guest from the Lemur Rescue. Sara Clark is the Director of Communications at the Duke Lemur Center. Sara, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
So love to hear all about the lemurs, how they are being rescued right now and all the things you do for them. And you've got an event coming up that we're going to talk about as well.
Yeah. Stay Away 5K right. Coming up this weekend.
Okay. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. Stick around. 10 minutes. We'll be with you as soon as Alberta gets her microphone fixed. All right, we're going to kick things off. Joining us again, you may recognize him from TV. It's our Film Friday guests, John Stenvall and Dave Morales, co-founders, both with Backstage OL. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Todd. Great to see you, bud.
You know, you guys are both in Houston right now. Are y'all both in H-Town?
Good question, because we are back to traveling here in just a couple of weeks with a huge movie called Top Gun. Perhaps you've heard of it.
I may have heard of it back in the 80s, but, I hear they're making a sequel to the movie, and they started advertising it about 3 years ago.
Yeah, they did. I know. It seems like this thing has been put off, all the time because of what's going on. But no, Todd, we're here in Houston today.
Cool. So tell us, first off, Backstage OL, you guys have been around for quite some time. I think y'all had just had a celebration, but you also had a big announcement as well, because tell us first off about your service and now the extension of the service and all the cool things you have going on.
Absolutely. John? So we just turned 10 years old. So that was celebration this year, our 10-year anniversary. So what we do is we take you backstage with the biggest projects that are coming out of Hollywood, whether it is television projects, whether it's films. We just did, Batman, Sonic 2. We got Francisco from HCC right now working on a project with Miles Teller for a series called The Offer. And so that's what we do is we take you backstage with everything that's coming out of Hollywood. And the big announcement that we had just about a little bit over a month ago, is we have launched a nationally syndicated radio show that's starting out of Dallas at the biggest top 40 station one of the biggest in the country, definitely the biggest in Texas, at KISS FM, 106.1 KISS FM in Dallas. So that just got launched, and I think we are on our 9th show already. So
that's great, man. That's good to hear you guys are expanding. Congratulations on the 10 years. You mentioned Francisco, and I must mention, we've had a partnership with you guys going on over the last year where some of our students get an opportunity to do a little bit of their work as interns working for you guys. And I know we had a couple of them that worked for y'all last summer and into the fall, and they would come back and say, oh my God, I just did an interview. I handled the interview with Angelina Jolie. Can you believe that? These students are really getting a chance to not only get some real world experience out there with editing some of your material that we get a chance to show, but they get to interact with, these big names in Hollywood.
And I know you're talking about our friend Kaio, who I still follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Carolina, of course, who's just amazing. Todd, I started like you, interning, and this is a business of really who you know. It's important what you know, but it's also who you know of networking and internships and things like that were vital to me getting started originally in radio and now in television. So when you have the real applications of working in a real environment and not, like you said, Angelina Jolie, and actually seeing how those, go from the shoot of the interview to actually getting broadcast, on television, online, digital, wherever. It just really helps. Students that have that opportunity, I think, is a huge plus. And we are so proud to partner with HCC and so happy that you all offer that, because honestly, it's tough to get through that door as a student, trying to get real world knowledge and experience. And the fact that HCC offers that and has partnered with BackstageOL.com, I will tell you right now, Todd, we are so proud of that, because again, like you just mentioned, the Angelina Jolie reference, when I see the reactions and when, Kaio was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's on my computer. I'm like, dude, that's real world. And we are so grateful for that.
Yeah, and they get a chance to build their resume tapes, and they can have these links in posterity. They save them, and they can use them to help, not only get their experience with HCCTV, but to work with you guys and get some real world experience. And it gives them a lot to go out and find other jobs when they're doing that. So we appreciate that. Okay, guys, I'm going to go see a movie this weekend. Today, going to go see the new Nicolas Cage movie. So I want to get your thoughts on that. But we've got some movies I know you guys have been working on. Another one I'm looking forward to, and maybe I can run through the list and you can give me the yay or nay. The Northman, Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh, I just ran the interview on the air on local Houston television with Alexander Skarsgård. Go to our YouTube channel, Backstage OL. Subscribe, hit the notifications button. I loved it. Find the biggest screen you can. If you like Vikings movies, if you like Game of Thrones type movies, this is for you. It's violent, so know that you're going into it extremely violent. But
I'm a big Ridley Scott fan. The Gladiators, those type of films. And so the Northman, I haven't seen it yet, but it is on my to-do list for this weekend.
Well, they say that what I've read is that it's going to do for what, even as if Vikings weren't popular enough, it's going to do for what Vikings, what the movie did, the Gladiator movie did back in the early 2000s. It's that type of epic type of movie. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'll be seeing that by myself. My wife will not go, but that's fine. She can go see something she would like. I also want to see Morbius, but I'm hearing a lot of bad things about it. What's your take on it?
Ignore the haters, man. It's a different. John, do you agree? I mean, it's a different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different. It's Sony Marvel. It's not Disney Marvel, and so it has a little bit different styling behind it. But it is darker too. I mean,
that's what I kind of got out.
Almost like DC dark, because of the vampire type aspect. Even though it's a Marvel film, I would say it's the darkest Marvel film I've seen yet. So, and
that's another one that seems like it's been put off for about 5 years as well. I seem like I saw that before the pandemic. Okay, Cyrano, I'd love to see this movie. I just can't find it in a theater around me.
It's gone. Yeah. But I would, you know what? Actually, this is probably, John, you and I, we were in New York with Peter Dinklage. Watch your feet, we're name dropping. But I know you, Todd. I think you will enjoy it. And I actually think you'll enjoy it better, like seeing it in the comfort of your living room, because it is a lengthy film. Remember, we were in New York. I kept moving around my seat because, like, okay, this get moving. But it's actually very well done.
Yeah, the guy. Joe Wright, who did Pride and Prejudice, Atonement, those type of films, he did Cyrano. And so it's a very beautifully shot film. All these movies that you're mentioning, by the way, are all projects that Francisco has worked on and edited on. So Francisco has worked on projects this semester with Alexander Skarsgård. That's the last one that he's worked on. Jared Leto, Peter Dinklage. So intern with us. I've always enjoyed really just being able. I had a great internship out of college or in college, so being able to really open up and get them hands on instead of going out. And I had friends that fetch coffee and did copies and stuff like that. I'm like,
these guys really do work. They're not they're not cleaning video monitors and going to get coffee. They're doing some real work. And it's
John and I have to do that. John and I, that's what John and I do.
Okay, I want to run to the streaming because we're running out of time. But I tried watching this the other night. I made it through one episode. I don't know if I'm going to continue on. Anatomy of a Scandal.
Oh my gosh, Todd, I loved it. And it's because it's the British scandal. There's this magazine over there, newspaper daily comes on, it's called the Daily Mirror. And I don't normally like National Enquirer type stuff, but it's British. And maybe that's, I think, the challenge for the States. But if you stick with it, man, it's juicy.
I'll tell you what's better. The Offer. You got to see The Offer when it comes out.
Okay.
The Godfather. It's phenomenal.
Okay. I've seen the preview for that. So that's one I'm going to take a look at. And then I keep hearing about The Bubble. What is this all about? Is it worth checking out?
Yeah, it's Judd Apatow, and it's basically making fun of doing a movie during the pandemic. And it's really funny. It's a very dry humor. When I started flying at the beginning of this, I had the face shield and I looked like I was on my way to the moon with an astronaut suit. And basically that's what that movie, gallons of hand sanitizer. It's actually really funny. Don't skip the Nicolas Cage movie. I know you mentioned that a second ago.
We're going tonight. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. And I was kind of wondering, is it one of those movies where all the funny parts are in the preview, but I heard it's actually really good.
No,
and you're a fan of Nicolas Cage. There are references that I will not reveal here to previous films and things that he has done, and you will laugh. I can already hear your laugh in the theater. But it's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So
we're going to that one tonight, so we're looking forward to it, guys. It's always good to see you. We thank you for giving our students an opportunity to get that real world experience, and we hope to continue that relationship with y'all.
Oh, you will. And again, props to HCC for everything you all do. I think it's just outstanding that you offer this to your students, because if I had this, growing up, I actually fought my way into nobody was going to hang out.
I know. You demanded and you made it there. You were able to demand your way. And sometimes you got to do that.
You have to do it. It helps, though, when HCC has a program that can offer students that opportunity. We are very grateful for the partnership and love working. Everybody you've sent our way, they've all just been fantastic students to work with, and they're just eager to learn, which we love.
Good deal, guys. Backstage OL, catch them online, on the radio, on TV, and you can find some of their content in our social media as well as we continue that partnership. We'll see you again, John and Dave. Take care. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Alberta. How's the microphone going? Did we figure that out?
You tell me.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit better. We'll work with that. All right, we're going to turn things over to you because I'm looking forward to hearing all about the lemurs, the rescuing of the lemurs, preserving them, but also an important event that's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, so moving on to Sara Clark, the Director of Communications of the Duke Lemur Center. Thank you for joining us, Sara.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invite.
Absolutely. So we're excited to have you here today and just in time for Earth Day this weekend. So because you have a 5K planned to benefit lemur care and conservation. So before we get into that event, can you please tell us about the Duke Lemur Center?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Duke Lemur Center was founded in 1966. We just celebrated our 55th anniversary last year, which was really exciting. And we are here on the campus of Duke University here in Durham, North Carolina. We have 100 acres, just like Winnie the Pooh. We've got our 100-acre wood. And on those 100 acres, we have about 215 different individual lemurs. And right now it's warm enough here in Durham that I can see free-ranging lemurs out in the North Carolina pine trees, just kind of leaping through the trees, doing what lemurs do. It's really incredible.
That is awesome. You don't hear anything like that these days at all. Very special.
So, they're completely unique in the world.
Exactly. Tell us where lemurs are found. I understand it's only like one place, but can you tell our audience where they're found and how you go about preserving them?
Yeah, absolutely. So lemurs are found in the wild only on the island of Madagascar. You have the continent of Africa, and then you have the Mozambique Channel, and kind of across that Mozambique Channel, there's an island. It's the fourth largest island in the world down off the southeastern coast of Africa. And that is the only place where you can find lemurs in the wild. Madagascar itself is a really incredible biodiversity hotspot. There are a lot of really unique and beautiful endemic species, and lemurs are one of those. Unfortunately, the island is facing a a lot of challenges right now. And lemurs are, as a group, the most endangered group of mammals on Earth. I think some people have heard of lemurs. They might be familiar with the ring-tailed lemur, of King Julian of fame, but they really don't realize there are 108 different species of lemurs living on that island. And most of them are endangered or critically endangered. So the work that the Lemur Center does is really, really important, trying to study and protect these animals and their native habitat in Madagascar.
Right on. So tell us about the partnership that you have with the people of Madagascar. What are the roles that a lot of these people play and the importance of them? How it helps you prolong what you're doing here?
Yeah, so the Lemur Center is based here in Durham. We also have a full-time staff based on the island of Madagascar. We've been there for 35 years. And our goal as an organization is to work side by side with the people and the organizations of Madagascar to create opportunities for positive change. Basically, we need to try to improve the lives of local people in Madagascar, and in turn, that really affects lemur conservation. So for example, Madagascar is one of the 10 poorest countries in the world. The diet is not great, not very rich in protein. And we do see a lot of bushmeat hunting. People are trying to feed their families. There's a lot of hunger and malnourishment. But unfortunately, they're hunting lemurs as a protein source. So what the Lemur Center does is we try to identify the root cause of some of these problems and address them. So if it causes hunger, what we're doing is helping these native communities establish, say, fish farming ponds. So we have a native fish, we'll help establish this fish farming pond. This fish is part of the Malagasy diet traditionally, but it's been overfished and it's also endangered right now. So they're raising fish. We ask them to release a certain percentage of fish back into the local waters. And then they also have fish for protein. They have fish to sell at market for additional food or protein sources. So working really, really hard to try to address the root cause of these issues in a community-based fashion.
The work you're doing is amazing right now. Thank you on behalf of everyone for doing this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also do a lot of work here in Durham, studying lemurs so that we can find out, what most affects their health and reproduction and social dynamics. So we know how to do that work in Madagascar. We also have a conservation breeding program. So we've had 3,400 baby lemurs born in the last 55 years.
Wow.
And that's my—
Hey, Alberta, I have a question. I wanted to jump in with a quick question real fast.
Yeah.
I've seen, unfortunately, on the pet market trade within the last 20 or so years, you see lemurs popping up and people, you go to fairs and people have a lemur. And I also think it's important to tell people they're cute, they're wonderful animals, but they're not meant to be pets or raised domestically. And I know a lot of people will purchase a lemur, bring him into the house, and it's got a crazy 2-year-old running around, and it's very disruptive. Maybe you can talk about that, because I imagine you also educate people how these are wild animals. They need to be taken care of properly.
That's a great slide. That's a great question.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you so much for bringing that up. The pet trade is a problem in Madagascar in the sense that these lemurs are pulled out of the forest and they're sold in the pet market. So that has a horrible negative impact on kind of native lemurs. Here in the United States, a lot of lemurs that you see for sale in the pet trade are actually bred in the United States and born in the United States. Unfortunately, they're pulled from mom often the day that they're born. They're raised in complete isolation from other lemurs. These are very social animals. Lemurs need other lemurs. So when you raise them within a home environment, they're fine usually for the first couple of years, but once they reach sexual maturity, these are wild animals. They are not domesticated. They become extremely aggressive. They can also live for 20 or 30 years.
Wow.
So we wind up with these aggressive animals. They can't be reintegrated into natural social groups like the lemurs here at the Lemur Center live in. And they wind up either being euthanized because they attack someone, or they wind up being abandoned. So please do not keep lemurs as pets. We have a strict no touching policy at the Lemur Center for that reason.
Yeah.
This isn't Tiger King, guys. No keeping them as pets.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, here in Texas, people keep tigers and lions all the time, unfortunately. And that it winds up on the news, and people are covering them when they get loose. Yeah. But I think it is very important to make that point because you do see them at fairs and people want to get their picture taken with the lemur. I remember years ago, I was in the French Quarter and we used to have a black poodle, and it was a larger black poodle, and I had him trimmed and he was sitting on my lap. And this woman walked by, and I was in one of the alleyways drinking some coffee at a cafe. And this woman walked by and she stopped and she came over and she goes, "Oh my God, you have a lemur." And she walks up and, he's got a long nose and he turns around. She goes, "That's the cutest lemur I've ever seen." I said, "It's a poodle," and I had to convince her, no, this isn't a lemur, but people just automatically, they're so used to thinking that and they see it.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah. That brings me to my next question, because a lot of people think all lemurs look like their ring-tailed lemur of King Julian, like in the Madagascar movies, but there are definitely more different types of lemurs.
Yeah, 108 different species. So there are lemurs that are nocturnal. There are lemurs that are active, during the day. There are lemurs that are both. There are lemurs that walk on 2 legs, walk on 4 legs. Lemurs that hibernate. The world's only hibernating primate is a lemur. So they're really, really cool to study just from that perspective. So some amazing examples of speciation as a result of, all these environmental niches on this island that they could adapt to.
Yeah, so we actually, since we want to get to the good stuff, we want to talk about how the Duke Lemur Center responded, and also discuss the 5K for everyone that wants to get involved.
Yeah, so the Duke Lemur Center is supported by Duke. We have about 50% of our funding supported by Duke, but we need to raise the additional 50% to fund our conservation programs and lemur care. So one of those really cool fundraisers that we offer, this is our 3rd annual 5K. It's called the Stay Away 5K. And we say stay away because that means you don't have to come to the Duke Lemur Center. You can just run wherever you want. So you can run in Houston, you can go to and if you don't want to run last year I have a horse. I rode horseback for a 5K. My horse. So you can run your dog. Basically, you just go to Lemur Center website, lemur.duke.org/5K, and kind of register. $35 is a great donation.
Oh, that's very cool. There you
go. So this is a cockerel shafak leaping. They can leap up to 30 feet in a single bound. So they'd complete a 5K really quickly.
Very cool.
Super fun event. Great way to support us.
We're going to have some information on the Lemur Center and also your 5K in our social media post after the show. Sara, we appreciate you being here and letting us know a bit about your organization. Incredible things you guys are doing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Once again, look in our social media post. You can get the information on how to sign up for that 5K this weekend virtually. All right. We've got some announcements and things we'll need to go over for the rest of the show. The Southwest Student Exhibition Spring 2022, the return of our in-person student exhibitions, features HCC Southwest art students who are juried for awards in drawing, printing in both acrylic and watercolor, 2D design, 3D design, ceramic, sculpture, life drawing, art metals, digital art and photography. Yes, it sounds like everything. You just create some art, they're going to jury it, and they're going to judge it. So it's happening April the 25th through May 6th at the HCC Southwest Stafford Fine Arts Gallery. If you haven't been out there, check them out. They've got an incredible location out there. Registration is not required. It's a free event. We'll have some information in our social media post after the show. And the student government are having meetings, Alberta.
Yes, so the student government meetings that is happening for the Student Government Association and United Student Council, they're holding meetings to enhance the college experience. And you will be able to find that at 11:30 today, April 22nd, at the Northeast campus. It'll be also on 4 p.m. and Monday, April 25th, at the USC meeting. And we'll have that on the show as well.
There you go. Women's Wednesday Roundtable. Women Who Lead is the topic on Wednesday, 12:30 to 2 p.m. They happen every Wednesday. April 27th is the next one. The topic is called Capital Ready by Mishu Clay, who will join us next week for Small Business Wednesday. Same day as that. See how this works? All right. Okay. We'll have the post in our information after the show's over with, so you can sign up for that. And we won't be on the air Tuesday because we have our State of the College event for HCC. We will be involved with that. No up to the minute on Tuesday, but we'll be here Monday and Wednesday. So mark your calendars for that. STEM summer camps are coming up too, Alberta.
Yes, so mark your calendars for another event. We have HCC's Community Learning Program, and they're hosting STEM summer camps for youth all across the district to promote the new Katy campus. And they're partnering with Texas A&M, the Agricultural Life Extension Program. So that'll be at the Drone Swift campus, Swift Camp, June 27th through July 1st at the HCC in Southwest Stafford campus. And we will have that info for you.
Okay. All right. Our registration is underway. I don't know why the lights keep flickering in here. Does it happen when you're in the studio too, Alberta?
It does. It does.
Okay. I thought it was just me. All right. I thought it was just me. Okay. Summer registration is ongoing right now. We're already talking fall 2022 registration because the schedule, if you haven't seen it yet, is available online. So you can check out the schedule. Priority registration is underway for our veterans and those in the Eagle Promise program. But regular registration for everyone starts on Monday, April the 25th. Mark your calendars, register for your classes. We have 5 ways of learning. 2 of them are completely online. 2 of them are hybrid with some online and in-person classes. And of course, we have the regular in-person classes where you can go to a campus, take your class in a classroom, see your professor, your classmates. That's available. Those classes are very small. So sign up early, get your financial aid in order, your scholarships, grants, all that stuff taken care of, and get ready for for fall 2022. We're already talking that. hccs.edu/apply is the place to go to register. Okay, Monday, we've got Dr. Emmanuel Wayne of HCC's Chemistry Department joining us to talk with the Science Division. He'll be joined by our Mental Health Monday guest, and later in the week, Alberta, some more guests.
So later in the week, we will have Small Business Wednesday guest, who will be Misha Clay from the Women's Roundtable of HCC's Entrepreneurial Initiatives.
Okay, is it Misha or Mishu? Misha, I'm not.
I see an A.
Yeah, okay, and the last one I saw an I, so we'll need to figure that out. So she'll be here on Wednesday. We'll talk about her upcoming event and Small Business Wednesday as well. Okay, Alberta, you're back on Monday, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, we'll see you on Monday.
Am I going to be there?
You're going to be home. You're going to be at the house, yeah, because we're getting ready for State of the College, and a lot of our equipment's going to be down at the Hilton Americas. So we'll be live Monday morning, 10 a.m., and we hope to see you then. Have a great weekend.